Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. My name is Amasid and today we are turning in 20 sets of Chasing Risk, a new divination card courtesy of Stoned Raccoon. Now this is a really cool card and something I was very much looking forward to doing, and I'm just surprised that I'm doing it this early in the league, to be honest with you. So big shout out for getting these cards so early. I really appreciate that. Now in terms of what we can get, let me pull this guy up here. So I'm covering it a little bit here, but you can more or less see that these are world drops, so I don't think these are included in synthesized items. They might be in synthesis items, they might be, but Raccoon did tell me that he did pull a Bottled Faith from one of these earlier. He's handed in, I think he said about 15 sets, maybe 10-15 sets so far already of these, and pulling in a Bottled Faith out of those already is great. Considering it's 20C a set, 20 sets, that's 5x just about at 80C per X. So 5x, not a small chunk of change early in the league. So we'll double check exactly how much we're going to make at the end of this. But I would assume it's just a bunch of rings. Maybe a Garbet Ephemeral would be good. I would assume these are all within bounds, and we'll find out in a second here. But he did pull a Bottled Faith, so that's a big W right there. So hopefully we can do the same. Let's start off with just a bunch because they might not fit all the way. 5. Frostbite on hit. Wow, that could be absolutely nuts. Frostbite on hit, cast speed, Herald of Ice buff effect. It's not the best explicits, but not bad. We'll price check that at the end. Purity buff effect, and then, ooh, that's the good purity ones, but the top ones are fine, I guess, but I don't know how much people are using purity right now, but it's not bad. So far, 2 rings, 3 rings now. Now we have another purity one with LE damage, evasion, and dex. Not the best explicits. Increased mana reserve efficiency and fizz damage. Yeah, I probably know what you're looking for. Evasion per frenzy charge and Herald of Agony. Interesting. Interesting. Damage of corrupted. Not the right Herald of Ice nodes, or explicits rather. Damage of corrupted is a cool one though, for sure. I love that explicit or implicit. We hit Mask of the Tribunal with minion damage. Huh. So basically it is the boss drops, it seems. Agony Crawler and then Mana Reserve Efficiency, Max Life and Light Radius. No dice there. Herald of Ash. So it's interesting. I'm so used to turning these in with multiple implicits, but yeah, these are, I forgot that they can even go with this with only 1 or 2 implicits. So that Frostbite one might be absolutely nuts. We'll have to check that one. Let's just grab all of these because I don't think it's likely we pull a lot of big items. I say as I fatefully pull a bunch of big items. Yep, there we go. First bigger item. Damage while leeching. That's kind of an interesting one for sure for this jewel, or for this pair of gloves. Life leech effect should not remove when unreserved life is full. That's cool. That's pretty cool. Perapecia. Lightning damage. Lightning gems. It's cool. It works. I mean, the lightning damage works for sure. Purity. I mean, those are the purity ones you'd want, I assume. I honestly, I haven't looked at a Circle of Guilt in a long time. Crit chance. Ellie with attack skills. Okay. Now we've got Storm's Gift. Probably not, but again, we'll price check these at the end. A Chaos Res Nebulous. How much are Nebulouses just going for baseline? 5C. Okay, so that's probably nothing crazy there. Agony Crawler damage and then Chaos damage while affected. Ooh. Ooh, this could be very interesting. If Herald of Agony is... I don't know how popular it is so far this league, but... Move speed. Okay. Level 10 Wrath skill and cold damage. Probably not good there. Again, the explicits are not what you're looking for either. I doubt much there. Intelligence, max life. Yeah, probably not for Herald of Purity. Again, last 2. Buff effect. Cold damage is great. Dexterity is useful too. And Chaos Res, but not the explicits you're looking for. You're looking for that double. And the last one is a Mask of the Tribunal. So I will dump these back in here, price check, see what we're working with here. Again, the number to beat is 5x. Can we make money on our first gamble of the league? Let's find out. Alrighty, we are back. Now, taking a look at the results here, I did just want to flash the spreadsheet before we actually walk through the items themselves. But as you can see here, we did hit some pretty big rings. The rings really hit nicely. Obviously, some of these we're going to go over. I did a little bit of math with and without just to kind of give fair weighting in the ways that I thought made sense. But essentially, the bottom line here is that we made, if everything were to sell at current prices for what I'm seeing out there, it would be just under 2,000 chaos, which is 24.5x, making this a profit of 19.5. Now, I did one without the sphere ring, and I'll go through that in a second here, but even without that ring, it's still a 5.5 exalt gain. So, walking through the rings here and the details. So, none of this was really worth much, essentially. Helm's not really worth anything. There was almost identical versions of these that were selling. The lightning damage maybe make it worth quite a bit more, but not significantly more to the point that it was going to really shift the value dramatically from what I was seeing on the market. Nebulous baseline worth not that much, and these gloves, even with the cool leech effect, still not worth all that much. Now, looking at the meat here, this ring here. So this is basically a perfect purity ring in the sense that it hit the perfect explicits, and that alone, as you can see here, getting rid of our rolls, is a minimum of about 7 exalts. So that's just a huge win right there. Honestly, it didn't register immediately because I was like, is people playing that much Herald Purity this league? But apparently they are enough to justify the value. So there's that. This ring is pretty interesting. I value that this maybe 50 chaos, depending, 20 to 50 chaos. But it hit not necessarily the best purity ones, but still good with that crit chance. It's not bad. It's not a bad ring, essentially. This guy here, nothing special. Looking at the nostalgias, this ring is 2x just for the explicits alone. So if you look at the agony crawler damage and then the mana, 2x right there. You see that? Boom. If you add in the max life, might be worth a little bit more, but I put it at just about 2. So looking back at our spreadsheet here, those are the nostalgias there, 2x. I said 2.7, just including the other rings here, which this was also not bad. This one here, there was almost, actually, I remember looking, there was almost an identical ring that was 50 chaos with the damage with ailments and all that. So not a bad ring. I'd say probably between 20 and 50 chaos again, and this one, nothing too special here. Now, looking at the fears, this is where things get a little tricky. That's why I did the math with and without it. But basically, this Frostbite ring, there's 2 up on the market here. And if you look here, just Frostbite alone, there's 14x. This has cast speed also. Pretty interesting. I don't know. I mean, if you're using this on a cast on crit, you're really looking for more of an attack speed would probably be better for your Cyclone. But I mean, someone else using a Herald Device otherwise could be good. So 14x question mark, maybe, definitely could be possible. And Frostbite hit is like a perfect curse for a Herald Device. So if you're using cold damage, basically, these two really nothing special here. I also noticed they all 3 hit max cold res. It's just staying constant when I move my mouse. Anyway, so very possibly that this sells for a ton, and it does really work out, but also possible that it doesn't sell for that much. Now, it's still a good ring no matter what. I think just the Frostbite alone that has value, even if it was just, again, devoid of the explicits. But just pulling it up here so you guys have an idea of what I'm looking at. This basically has... wow, they didn't even identify it. That's funny. Wow. So this one here has the buff effect and then the mana reserve efficiency. Ours has the buff effect and the max cold res. It's a good ring. I think this will definitely sell. It's a matter of how much. And then the last one here, the Circle of Regret, 3 chaos. Nothing too much there. So again, even without this ring, if this ring sold for 0, if I took this and deleted it, and everything sells for what it's kind of listed for, and I'm pretty confident that it would otherwise, we'll get about 5.5x profit. So this is a big W for the first gamble of the league. Anyway, this was a really fun card. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will catch you guys in the next one.